Minas Gerais, 1782. This is not the land of gold we know from history books. This is a hungry territory where wealth was torn from the earth with blood, and the nights belonged to something that watched. The Royal Road was the vital artery of the Portuguese Empire, but for the men who walked it, the tropeiros, it was a living purgatory. Every mile of mud and stone was a test of survival against jaguars, bandits, and legends born from whispers by the fire. Many men vanished on these roads, most swallowed by the forest, forgotten. But one of them left a warning, a diary found near Ouro Preto. It belonged to Bento Avelar, and what he wrote was not about men or beasts. It was about a body that the earth itself refused to swallow.
There are sins so foul, he writes, that the holy earth refuses to grant a grave. It vomits the wicked back out to let their evil fester under the moon. We have a name for such a thing here, O Corpo Seco, the dry body. 2 days out of Villa Rica. The humidity is a filthy, suffocating blanket, and the chorus of the jungle at night is a maddening thing. But tonight, a silence fell. A sickly, heavy silence, as if the jungle itself was holding its breath. That's when the smell hit my mule first, and then me. It was a capuchin, or what was left of one, drained of every drop of blood, its skin like parchment over brittle bones. As I knelt, a sound came from directly above. Not a snap, a creak, slow, like old leather stretching in the sun. It was not a branch, not a vine. I could see its shape against the dying light. It was bone, an arm, long, thin, and ending in fingers, a thing of dried skin, and it was watching me.
What Bento Avelar saw was not an animal. It was a pillar of Brazilian horror folklore, the Corpo Seco. The legend is specific. It is not a ghost, it is a punishment. The final condemnation for unforgivable sins, like violence against one's parents. The belief states the earth itself, disgusted, vomits the body back. Cast out from holy ground, it's condemned to wander, seeking the life it no longer has.
My mind screamed run, and my legs obeyed. I did not dare look back. I could hear it above me, keeping pace. A dry, scraping rustle. The sound of dead leaves and cracking bone. I reached my camp, my heart a wild drum trying to escape my chest. Fire, a man's only true friend. For a moment, I let myself breathe. But then, the wind shifted. The putrid smell of dry rot was back. It was no longer in one direction. It was everywhere, surrounding me. The rustling stopped, and a new sound began. A faint, dry clicking. It came from the perimeter of the light, circling. Then I saw them. Legs, taller than any man, thin as sugarcane, moving with a patience that chilled my soul. My musket felt like a toy. It was not a man. It was the husk of one, a puppet of dried sin. And from that silent, screaming mouth, my own name was carried on the wind. Bento.
Bento's description is a naturalist's nightmare, a creature with bark-like skin and a profane strength. The most terrifying detail the whisper. The dry body rarely speaks, it mimics. It uses the victim's own name to paralyze them with fear. It's a psychological hunt. Bento, an experienced traveler, made the fatal mistake. He froze.
My name. It knew my name. The whisper wasn't from the wind, but from a throat that should have been dust. The paralysis broke. A desperate rage took over. If I was to die, I would not die frozen. I raised my musket, the cold steel of familiar comfort. I aimed for the center of that dry, hollow chest and pulled the trigger. The ball struck true, but there was no cry of pain, no blood, only dust, a puff of dry earth, like shooting a scarecrow. It looked down at its chest, then back at me, and in its hollow sockets, I swear I saw something that looked like amusement. It moved faster than anything that dry should. Before I could reload, it was on me. Its hand, hard as petrified wood, closed on my arm. The diary felt of dirt. The last thing I wrote, its touch doesn't drain blood. It drains warmth. It drains life. The earth doesn't want it. But it is hungry. So very hungry.
The rest of the page was covered in a dark, dry stain. What Brazilian legend should I investigate next? Comment below. And if you survived this long, you deserve to be subscribed.